compared with the professionals. The ability gap is closing, which both helps the community by ensuring better representation to the public, but also negatively in that it confuses the bladers who seek sponsorship or recognition from a starved industry struggling to meet its own ends. Then in 2004, a grating reality check. The rollerblading street skating event is removed from the American X Games, forcing a slow ripple throughout the rollerblade industry.
I've been announcing the X Games, okay? I go and I do the play-by-play for the TV broadcast with Mark Shays. And every year before we go to the X Games, they have what they call a talent meeting. We go into the conference room and the guy, Rich Feinberg, the producer, says, listen, I had my staff put together this video of highlights from last year's X Games. I think it's really great, and I think it's going to get everyone fired up. They puts in the tape, turns down the lights, and they never show rollerblading. We're part of this staff. We're part of the X Games. Rollerblading hadn't been dropped yet. And Rich goes on with the presentation. He's talking about this stuff. He's talking about the new technology. And he says, we've got some really great new technology this year. We're going to have the cable cam coming over the whole street course. And he's talking about the different things. And he says, and we're going to do something new this year that we've never done before. He said, so we're going to have a follow cam to show on the street course. He said, but I got to tell you guys. He's now talking to the whole room. He said, I got to tell you guys, we tried everything. We thought about a lot of different ways to get this, and it just so happens that the best way to get the footage is by having an inliner on the course. Just so you know, skateboarders, he's talking to the skateboarding commentators, you know there's going to be an inliner out there, just so you know, bike riders. And basically, he's apologizing for the fact that there's going to be an inliner on the course. They all had a big laugh about it. I didn't think it was funny. And then half a year later, 6 months later, I get an email from ESPN. One line basically says, we've decided to go in another direction. I mean, you would think if they cared about rollerblading, that they would want people there who cared about rollerblading. They want to have the best product they can have. They want the people there for skateboarding to care about skateboarding. My enthusiasm for rollerblading, my feelings for rollerblading can only make their end product better. I want it to look good for them. What hurt me most was their response to me only confirmed what I knew all along, that they don't care about rollerblading.
A year later, in 2005, vert rollerblading is removed from the X Games as well. Sales hit all-time lows, marketing budgets shrink, and optimism is outgunned by caution. Combined, participation drops, and already scarce outside marketing dollars become scarcer. In the meantime, rollerblading participation and visibility continues to rise in Europe and Asia through other X Games venues and action sports tours.
Very rarely are contests in the U.S. Like the last probably 4 or 5 contests I've been to, I've been out of the country.
There used to be like so many times when I was a kid, like rollerblading come on TV and you just hurry up and get a tape, you know, you'd push record because it was awesome, you know, they had NISs, they'd have everything, they have ASA contests, and now it's like, we've just been so pushed to the outside like outcasts that everybody forgot about it.
But it hardly matters to the professionals whose meager salaries are slashed, the morale shattered.
Aaron Feinberg just got fired from his sponsor. One of the greatest rollerbladers we have in the history of our sport, of all time, he can't even get paid. He can't even get thrown a bone from his sponsor because there's no money in this industry. And when people say, cool, it's cool that we're underground, I say, fuck that.
This does nothing to help the pattern of elder talent leaving the industry in pursuit of loftier exploits coupled with financial security. This not only hurts the historical significance of the sport, but removes the bulk of an elder demographic from the leadership position, leaving only younger and less experienced individuals behind to repeat mistakes made by their predecessors.
Like most people my age aren't even in it anymore. Maybe they're working a job that they hate and they're not skating. Like, it's like, what did it get them? Like doing something they love, what did it get them? So it makes them like jaded about skating again.
And we got real life deals. It's like, you got to pay bills, you got, you know, your girlfriends or just everyday stuff that you have to pay for. And now a lot of us wish that we saved our money. A lot of us wish that, you know, we're more responsible. But at the end of the day though, like, we all appreciate it more now these days. I do, being around the game for so long.
In rollerblading today, the industry is so small that the money is just not there like it used to be. Average salary is like between $15,000 and $18,000 a year, and having to pay for insurance and rent on top of all that, because I mean there's no benefits with a skating career.
Most companies, if you skate for them, they don't provide healthcare, and if they do, you know, they're doing something special, they're doing something good. Hopefully, you know, if you get lucky, you can get enough cash per, you know, as a salary per month to pay for a third party.
Imagine if we had the exposure we had 10 years ago. You know, imagine what we could do with it now. I would definitely be in a different position. You know, I wouldn't be struggling to eat on tour. I wouldn't be eating ramen 3 meals a day, 13 cents. I'm on my game right now and I'm eating ramen. When I was barely first starting, I would go to a competition and make $10,000. I didn't even know what to do with the money because I was so young. 24 years old. I have 1 more year until I'm off my parents' insurance, and I can't seem to stop what I'm doing. I'm too in love with what I do. Rollerblading has me in its grip.
The community rolls forward, thanks to the steadfast dedication of a handful of core companies and the continuation of specialized media outlets like Daily Bread in the US, B-Mag from Austria, Crazy Roller in France, and more. Some of these titles are gone now, more fallen soldiers in a long and seemingly endless battle for respect.
It just sucks right now. We just have to stick through these hard times, and, you know, can't be buying expensive cars or owning houses and stuff like that, but maybe someday.
In 2006, the period of denial for rollerbladers is past. We've accepted our position as outsider. We know no one cares about what we are doing or who our top professionals are. Money is hemorrhaging out of the industry still, yet new and more educated leaders continue to emerge. Members of the old guard such as Eisenbereg have said these times are the most important.
This banishment from action sports, our exile, has been the greatest blessing. Because what happened is skateboarding got so big that really it became mainstream. The cool kids at school are wearing skateboard gear. They really have become the jocks. I mean, they're the ones dating the cheerleaders. Now the cheerleaders are the girls. The whole thing is switched. Alternative is the mainstream. The hottest girls at school are wearing black. So now you can't really go to school and be a skateboarder and be the outcast. You don't have that experience anymore. We are the skateboarders from 20 years ago. We're the ones that go to school with a rollerblading t-shirt or carrying your skates, and you get ostracized. You get made fun of. You're the roller fag. You're the fruit pooter. But at the end of the day, they will have gone to a struggle for something that they believe in and that they love. And when it all comes back around, when people do start to say, you know what, that's cool, that's impressive, and God willing, the money comes back into the sport, and they put it back on TV, we'll know that the people that are there at the top representing the sport will have paid their dues and are people that we are proud to have representing rollerblading.
There's even more to the story. All the bad press, all the negative stigma, all the efforts of a culture falling short of aspirations, it all amounted to an overwhelming sense of jaded destiny, which was complete bullshit. Behold the power of suggestion, a placebo effect made real. Just look at the numbers. In 1995, inline skating had 23.9 million people strap up skates and go skating more than twice. Today, those same research techniques suggest inline skating has numbers closer to 13.1 million people. A number even today slightly greater than skateboarding. Our industry has declined since its booming heyday, but the interest is still there. Just as strong as in other sports. In fact, more than snowboarding, more than mountain biking, and more than tennis. Not every one of these skaters is a top professional or aspires to be anything other than recreational, and neither does the tennis enthusiast, or the mountain biking novice, or the snowboarding retiree. But the numbers count the same for them, earning those sports attention from major sponsorship dollars, endorsements, and widespread media exposure. Rollerblading is not treated as a valuable marketing commodity by the public because it has never stood up for itself as a culture that was above or truly beyond the cultural stigmas which have rampantly preceded everything. At least not until now.
There is no answer to where we're going to go and what's going to happen to us. As long as everybody fucking believes in it, it's going to go somewhere. Because I fucking get on a plane every other weekend and go to third world countries and do fucking demos for God knows who out there, you know, for a fucking reason. And I think it's the same reason that every kid wakes up in the morning and puts on his skates.
We have a movement where there's an awareness of rollerblading, that people realize that skating is what you want it to be. It's something that comes from within inside you. I think it's important for kids to realize what kind of sacrifice people are making to better our industry. And I'm excited to see the people who stick it out.